Welcome back, Truth Seekers. This is Athanasius, and this special presentation goes out to everybody on the deplorable Trump train. Remember, guys, we got 26 days before the election. Everybody get out there. If you haven't registered, register and get out there and vote for Donald Trump November 8th. So what brings us to this special video? Well, my wife the other day, we both went to the Panama City Trump rally, and we decided that we wanted to share our experiences. Now, if you're wondering why this is taking 2 days to get out, well, we didn't get home until 1 o'clock in the morning after the rally, and I only got about 4 hours of sleep, and so when I got home off of work, I was so tired that I just could not bring myself to do a video on it, and so that's why I'm doing it today, after I've actually had some sleep. But I have to say that the whole experience, it's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. If you guys have a chance to do it, definitely do it. It certainly confirmed a lot of things about me, but it also opened my eyes to some things about Trump rallies and people that are there, and also how these are conducted. Because when you watch just the Trump rallies that are on YouTube, you get the point where Trump is speaking forward, usually, if you do the replays. If you do the live, I think they may do like the speaker before Trump, but I don't really remember them doing like the whole event going all the way back to the earliest speakers.
I don't either.
Yeah. So anyway, my wife is again joining me again for this video, if you haven't already told. So let's go ahead and kick off. We're going to go in a somewhat chronological order, although I kind of will jump around as things come up. So we left. I'm not going to say where we live, but we live about 2 hours away from Panama City. So we arrived about 3:30, and the line was very short, and we were thinking, wow, this isn't, is this going to be a really small rally here? So we got in the line, started talking with people, and about an hour later, we were looking to watch 4:30, and that's when they said the gates were going to be open. The gates weren't opening, and the line was still kind of small, like, well, what the hell is going on here? Then we realized that, oh, we're in the wrong time zone. We went back a time zone. So we got there at 2:30 local time. So we waited in line for about 2 hours, which, was okay. We got to play cards a little bit and got
to talk to other people that were there.
Yeah, got to talk to some of the other, listen to some of the other conversations going around, and I'll get into those conversations in just a bit. But as the day progressed, more and more people definitely came in to come see Trump, and it ended up being something like over 21,000, I think it was like the final count they got at the beginning of Trump's speech, if I remember correctly. Is that right? It was over 21,000.
I think so.
Yeah. So definitely a massive rally. It's not the biggest, but I think it is one of the biggest. Another thing about
What an honor.
Yeah, I know, we were honored of being such a big crowd. Another thing about the crowd that, again, to those that look at Trump's rallies, to those that are on the Trump train, you understand that what the media says about us being a bunch of angry white men that are pissed off and misogynist. So no, I saw a whole smattering of people of all races, sizes, creeds, religions,
women and men as well,
young, old. In fact, I was more surprised by the fact that there was a lot of from our generation that were there, and not just
and even younger.
Yeah, and even younger.
Even some, as they put it, future voters.
Yeah, high school
who are too young to vote just yet.
Yeah, high school types. So that I found really, really interesting, and I definitely have to say that if you ever wanted to know the truth about who exactly goes to these rallies here, they're blue-blooded Americans. They come from all walks of life, and they are certainly not racist. They're certainly not sexist or anything. That, again, listening to the conversations that were going on, and just hearing what the people are saying, these were people that cared about the country, that saw the country was going to hell in a handbasket, and they were getting behind Trump because they knew that he would be the only one that could fix it. And I never heard a racist conversation, a sexist conversation. I know a group among 20,000. I didn't hear every conversation, but the polling sample, if you will, of conversations did not revolve around any of those topics whatsoever. Another thing about some of the conversations, they had to deal with the recent Trump statements. And for those that still have not heard what was going on, it came out that Trump had made some off-color comments to NBC's Billy Bush, now known as Billy Bush tapes, and the comments revolved around him basically acting like a pig towards women and so forth. Well, funny enough, listening to some of the conversations, especially from women, they didn't care about that. They were like, "Look, everybody talks like that at some when they think they're not being recorded." Even the women's like, "I've said things that were worse than that." You got old Southern drawl going on with that. It's like, yeah, I can see some country women talking like that. Of course, you're working on a farm, you probably experienced worse things than that when you're dealing with male horses and so forth. At least from what I've been told. And then other conversations talk about what they're doing to help the campaign, how they're volunteering, getting out the votes. Again, a lot of patriots, a lot of people that really care and are getting involved more so than they probably would have normally. We also had. Oh, sorry, you want to say something?
I guess I was just going to say more about the type of people that were there, just real quick. I was honestly surprised to see enough senior citizens, enough older people. Particularly also because of the type of event this is.
Outdoor events, no
Outdoor
air
event,
conditioning.
standing for a long time in the heat.
Right. We did see some, unfortunately, fall out from heat illness, but
yeah.
medical crews were there, and they were very good about getting people treated real quick.
I mean, this type of event really is taxing, and even on me, I have a bad back, and we had to, be wary of that. Make sure I was a good girl and made sure I sat enough times to relax everything. And so even me, is like, gosh, this is over 6 hours of just standing, unless of course you sit on the ground or you luckily have somewhere to sit. Because you're in a wheelchair or something, because they didn't allow you to have chairs. But see, that's what made me so surprised that even the older people are passionate enough and find this a worthwhile movement to endure these harsh conditions of this type of event. So I thought it was really cool to see quite a bit of them. And as you just said, we did notice, a number of them, did have a difficult time during these
during the hot parts of the day.
Well,
yeah,
not just the hot, but then the standing, the standing portion.
that too. Yeah, but it also just shows it's a testament to the dedication of Trump supporters, because these people were standing out in line for God knows how long.
Well, I had heard some form of media, pretty much right behind us, say that some were there since 1 or 1:30.
Yeah, and so we didn't arrive. So we arrived maybe an hour afterwards, which again, dedication to.
We did get a really good spot because we got there really early, but
yeah, we did. I mean, we got literally like almost 50 feet from the stage, so real clear view. We could hear. Well, you could hear everything because they had everything up on like concert-sized speakers, and so it didn't matter where you're at, you were going to hear it. But yeah, we definitely heard everything crystal clear coming from the stage, which was really nice. It was a really cool experience. So anyway, another conversation that we ran into with some of the people there is that conversations going around about what would happen, what were they going to do if Hillary won, and the general consensus that we got from people was that, well, if she won, not much else to do except prepare for civil war. So
And I was honestly surprised how many people
back
even
that idea.
yeah, even would think about that being a possibility, let alone actually say that they agree that that would happen.
Right. I might have to do a special video on this, what I think would happen if we actually ever did get into a civil war type situation.
You mean if Hillary won, what would happen?
Yeah, if Hillary won, what would happen? I think it's important enough to at least, mention it.
Oh, very important, especially those who are voting for her or not
Thinking
voting
about
for
voting
Trump.
for her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be another video for another day. But again, the conversations were very interesting, and you listen to these people, and these are people that are, like I said, blue-blooded American. They're people that love their country. They hate seeing it being trashed by the politicians, and they want the America they knew and loved back. And they see that Trump is the only one that is talking any sense, and the one that's actually championing the issues that are important to them. So
I think that was a pretty common phrase I heard that day. I want the America that I grew up with.
yeah, and so don't let anybody ever tell you that these people are just they're don't let the Hillary campaign
In the
smears,
media.
okay, where they say that these people are rednecks, they're racist, or the plural, all that. Don't let that get you down, because these people are nothing of the sort. They are your salt of the earth American heroes, the common everyday American. Anyway, so we got inside, and they had an official store inside that they were selling merchandise, T-shirts, hats, bumper stickers. I picked up a couple bumper stickers, veterans for Trump, because I'm a veteran and it is important to me. Then we also saw during the event as well people selling not illegal merchandise, but I think merchandise that they had purchased, like at a
Or they made.
They
could have made the merchandise.
True. And they were selling it at the. They're trying to sell it on the down low.
It's basically probably just unofficial merchandise.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. So, ended up getting some pins as well from some of these people. I'll get into that in just a little bit. So we had so we got through the entrance. Security was pretty tight. They even scanned our sandwiches. We had 2 giant Jimmy John sandwiches, and they had to wand both of those. I kid you not, folks. That's just how serious they were about security. Which, wow.
No, okay. Here's the thing. It was embarrassing because we were like, what in the world is in our Jimmy John's bag that was setting off the metal detector?
Well, first it was the bag of chips.
Yeah.
And then it was
then
the 2 mayonnaise
packets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really weird. It was both embarrassing because, of course, they were just trying to, be super careful. But I was pretty embarrassed by it because, well, I think the one cop was getting just a little too worked up about it. But to be honest, rightfully so, because we cannot afford Trump to get hurt or
Yeah.
or worse, people. We cannot afford that.
No, we can't.
So I mean, I don't mind them being super precise about it. I mean, they went through everything we had, and I mean everything. I had to bring my walker in, and I had some books in the little pouch, and he went through the actual books. He actually scanned through the books, and so and I was just like, wow, these guys are these guys are really serious about it. Which first, yes, good, thank you for doing that. So then, for our safety and for Trump's safety, don't know. Well, let me just say this, okay? We couldn't conceal carry, okay? So these guys were the only ones that would be able to help us in any sort of bad situation. So if we're not allowed to have something to defend ourselves, these guys are the only ones that are doing it. So I was really glad that they're there, and I told as many as I could, thank you for being here.
Right. No,
You know,
this isn't. Don't mistake what I'm reporting as a slight against the law enforcement people there. No, none whatsoever. It's just I
I
find it.
wasn't getting at that either.
I
I was
just
just
found it
stating
kind of funny that we got stopped
for subs.
for for Jimmy John sandwiches, weapons of mass deliciousness.
Oh my gosh, they were delicious. Oh, they were gargantuan. And we made a joke. We're like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, because the cop said, those subs, are really big and heavy when they had dropped and they made that loud thud. It kind of made me nervous. And we're like, well, they're Jimmy John's gargantuan.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if it really clicked with him or if he probably just wasn't in a joking mood because, well, I mean, to be honest, this is a very serious job. But but to be honest, these things are huge and they're delicious. Okay.
Yeah. No, they easily weigh at least 2 pounds each. So I can understand him being cautious about what was brought in.
But that was surprising, but this was part of the rally experience, the Trump rally experience. It was kind of like an airport security in a way where you had to put all of your stuff, everything out of your pockets on the table for them to go through, and then you walk through the
TSA was there. Only you didn't get molested by the TSA.
And you'd have to take off your shoes.
You just did a metal detector, which if you I'll get back to my usual my talk here, but if a presidential rally only requires a metal detector, why the hell can't the friggin' airports only require a metal detector?
Agreed.
To get through.
That is a very good point, my darling.
Anyway, so let's get back on topic here. So
sorry, it was just part of the experience. I thought.
Yeah. So once we got in, we got to. We went up to the front and people were still coming in, so we had the opportunity to get, like I said, about 50 feet from the stage, and it was a great view. It really was, and there were no chairs. There was nothing.
It was just an open field.
Yeah, it was pretty much an open field. So
with an amphitheater. Stage.
So we brought our we brought a blanket and we sat on that. A lot of other people were doing the same thing. Some people are actually, taking a nap. I don't blame them. The heat probably got to them. Then we had.
Well, and there were still hours to go. Even when you got through security and out to the field, and took your spot, you still had hours before anybody would start to speak. So
right, but we were in good company. The people were really pleasant. There was no sort of. There was no animosity. There was no people being cranky because of the heat or anything like that.
It was a great camaraderie.
That's a good word, camaraderie.
Because everyone was passionate about voting for Trump and supporting him, and it was just it felt like you were among good friends. That's what it felt like. Unlike when we go online and we say something about. In support of Trump, we just get a whole bunch of nasty stuff back. You wouldn't get that. You wouldn't get that at a rally. You would just get a whole bunch of support and amens and a whole bunch of really uplifting. It was a very uplifting setting.
Yeah. So then after a couple hours, and they would. If there was one thing I had to knock this rally for, it was the music choice. I understand that Trump was not a very popular person amongst the leftist, liberal Hollywood musician types, but when you have, was it like 4 or 5 songs?
It was like maybe 5, 7 at most songs playing.
Yes.
Over and over and over.
Yes.
In a row. And
again, when you first hear them, they're like, "Oh, good song," but by like the 4th or 5th time, you just like, why? Can't we get a little musical variety here?
But the other thing is, too...
Could you find some local bands that are looking to get...
But the music choices were weird. There was an opera one.
Yeah.
And,
what the heck?
And then, they went from opera to...
rock metal or kind of like me...
That guy. AC/DC. Went from opera to AC/DC.
I don't remember AC/DC.
I'm pretty sure AC/DC played.
I don't remember AC/DC.
Yeah. Or someone that sounded like AC/DC.
It might have sounded like AC/DC, but
Oh, okay.
anyway. Can I get my water? Anyway, so that's my only gripe. And then they would also play. I think it was like the same for Trump ads. Like every so often, they would just do a break in the songs and play that. Then you had, then they started bringing out the local politicians. We had Congressman Neil Dunn come out and speak, and he introduced some of the local politicians. They gave some really good speeches.
Really great speeches.
Yeah,
Overall,
some good warm-ups.
Amazing.
One of them had us. We all did the Pledge of Allegiance, and you talk about a patriotic setting there. There was no kneeling down. There was no sitting down. No, everybody was standing up and either had hand over heart or had their head bowed, or I think some of the military people I saw were saluting. We also had at 2 points during the night an invocation, and it was a Christian invocation. It wasn't, some.
That was honestly surprising, and not even just for that to happen.
Right.
To happen. That was interesting.
Right. It was a very patriotic, very Christmas. Christmas is coming up, folks. We're just skipping Halloween this year. We're going straight to Christmas. A very Christian atmosphere. You had also, I mean, with the exception of, for all you Protestants out there, okay, I understand that, the Catholic Church, Catholics, we're not all that popular to you, but, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to insult us when we kind of don't have a home right now, politically speaking. I mean, with the recent emails that have come out from Podesta and showing Hillary's disdain for the Catholic Church and how her campaign wanted to inspire the quote-unquote Catholic Spring to basically overthrow the bishop's rule and everything like that. I mean, you kind of would be smart to not, make a dig at the Catholic Church. Now, again, to clarify, this was not Donald Trump that did that. This was one of the speakers. I think he was a pastor or a local pastor or something like that. Which, okay, I get it, but at the same time, okay, not called for. Just saying.
Well, I think also what if I'm catching what you were trying to say correctly, I think you're saying because we don't have a political platform, is that the phrasing used? Because we don't have a we don't have a political place of really more of our own. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yes.
Well, because we don't have that, we're free to roam, kind of with I mean, okay, let's just all right, work with me on this. We're free to roam in a bit. So to be honest, we could be a really big pool of votes.
We are a really big pool of votes.
Well, I'm saying should because so many Catholics are really screwing this election up.
Okay.
So
assuming for a sec that Catholics were to rally around one banner.
But yeah, you can say that we're big because in numbers wise, yes. I was just thinking so many of us not voting for Trump. But
right.
So therefore, then would not be smart to diss the large amount of people that you need on your side to win.
Exactly. Anyway, that's an aside, okay? That doesn't reflect upon Trump. Like I said, that was one of the speakers at the rally there. But I felt like the point had to be made because, we both, rolled our eyes when that comment was made. It's like, really? You didn't have to go there.
Honestly shocking. Because why?
You didn't have to go there. Anyway.
No, he didn't.
So after those speakers were done, it was supposed to be, there was like 15 minutes to when Trump was supposed to start speaking. Well, Trump showed about 45 minutes late. That's probably the other thing that was, real bad about the evening. I get he's busy, but come on.
And, we were warned that he was going to be late because people behind us said, yeah, he's always late. To be honest, I actually never knew.
So
I didn't know that, but I didn't think he was going to be 45 minutes late.
No. So when he finally started rolling out the main events, first I think it was a pastor. He gave another invocation. That was the second invocation of the night. Then Rudy Giuliani came out. and he played the forward man, getting the crowd fired up, getting ready for Donald Trump, and his speech was excellent.
It
I mean,
was absolutely amazing.
he gave
That
it.
was an amazing speech. You guys really need to go listen to that speech.
Yeah.
Go find it.
He make a great.
Panama City Trump rally, Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, he got the crowd fired up, and then Trump came out, and he just took it from there. It wasn't. I haven't really listened to his stump speeches for a while because they all started sounding the same. However, I've noticed that with this one, he's now incorporating more recent news stories to attack Hillary Clinton, which is great. I mean, he talked about the WikiLeaks emails. He talked about how her campaign was bashing the Catholic Church. Talked about how there's corruption and collusion between the media there. And yes, the media. We actually were in front of the media. Okay, another little side here, but if you're watching any of the of the videos there, if you're watching any of the videos, okay, of it, pay attention. One of the signs that keeps waving in front of the cameras and blocks the entire camera view is mine.
Jerk.
I was tall enough. I'm tall enough. I'm a 6'4" guy.
Very tall man.
And it was unintentional, but I noticed this during the opening speakers, because they had two huge jumbotrons on the side of the stage that they were projecting the live feed, and I noticed that every so often they would cut. Like whenever the crowd would start going wild and waving the signs, whatever, they would cut to a different feed that was a little higher off and off to the side, just so they could continue to see the stage. And I thought, okay, what exactly, are all these signs really drowning out? Like, did they just have a bad camera placement? So I watched for the next couple of times the crowd cheered. I noticed that the signs would only come up to like maybe a quarter or halfway up on the screen. And then I went through my sign up there, and I realized I covered the entire screen. I was in the perfect position for my sign. So
jerk.
Yes. I was proud to make the camera crew work that day. But so if you see like a really just a sign just cover up the entire screen, that's most likely mine. Or if you see a giant fist in the air, that's also probably mine as well, because I did that a few times. Not a black power fist, mind you, but a, huzzah or yeah or, raw, go, buddy, type of fist. Anyway, so Trump continued the speech. He was adapting, using more recent news articles, like I said, more recent stories. He was definitely on the attack, and he was going after Hillary. He emphasized his promise to appoint a prosecutor to go out to investigate her and the investigation. And it was about, let's see here. He started speaking about 8:15, and we got to about the 45-minute mark, I think. And we kind of looked at each other, and we both said, you know what? We probably should get out of here before the crowds do. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck here forever. And we have a 2-hour drive back. And plus the 1 hour, jump and time change. So we really need to get out of here. So we started making our way out. We got out of the gates, and we actually got onto the streets when we heard Trump do his final, "We will make America safe again. We will make America stronger."
Which is what he always ends with.
Yeah, he always ends with.
Good for him having a real strong, consistent.
So they finished that,
ending.
and then everybody started filing out. On our way out, I did stop to get a couple. They were probably unofficial campaign pins, but don't care.
Definitely considering one of the ones that we got, which, by the way, I was just
yeah.
joking. I really didn't think you were going to get it.
Donald effing Trump, yeah.
for president, yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely.
It was funny.
I know it is funny. I would definitely assume because of that, it is unofficial.
Yeah, but the vendors that were selling these items were all black, which was surprising. They were all black, and as I was buying the pins, I struck up a conversation with the black lady that was, and she was young too. She had to be, what, mid-20s, I think. maybe like mid-20s to early 30s. I mean, she was young. She definitely wasn't, she was definitely a millennial.
I'm pretty sure the rest of them were also pretty young too. Younger than 30.
I didn't really get a good glance of anybody else though, so
or I should say younger than 40.
Definitely younger than 40. I will say that for everybody else, but her, because we were almost face to face, buying the items here, and I asked her
just because of our generation and everything, it's not easy to assume that there would be that many people honestly under 40.
So I struck up a quick conversation as I was handing her over the money. She was getting me change. I asked her, so you're probably voting for Trump. Like, yeah. I was like, so what about your friends and family? What are they? Who are they voting for? And she fires back. I wish I gotten this on camera, but her response was, "Oh, they're voting for Trump because I'm going to be screaming at them the whole way to the election box. They are voting for Trump. No ifs, ands, or buts."
Good girl. Good girl. Some great courage and passion there.
Yeah. And so we were on our way back to the car. Crowd started getting thick. Here's a lesson learned from us, that if you ever go to one of these Trump rallies, do not park up close. Park as far back as you can walk to the gate. Because what happened to us, as we're getting out, we parked across the street from where the entrance of the event was, but the police had taped off the whole road to leave it for access for emergency vehicles.
And when we mean they blocked off the whole road, they would not let us just simply walk across the street where our car is right there. Oh my gosh. But not only that, in order to have gotten to that parking lot, we would have had at least a mile turnaround. It was like at least a mile walk of a turnaround.
Yeah.
To get there.
And so
are you kidding me?
And so we started humping it. We got down to where they allowed us to cross the street, and just as we're about to cross the street, they stopped pedestrian traffic because now Trump's motorcade was on the move, and so they had to stop everybody. So 10 minutes later, they finally gave the all clear, and by that time they opened up the street to allow everybody to cross. So we were far away from our car. We had to walk all the way back, and by this time everybody's getting in the cars. They're getting in. Our plan of trying to beat the crowd failed miserably.
And since we were so close to the actual entrance, meant that we were very far away from the exit.
Yes.
So
we spent
bad situation.
I know it was at least an hour. Was it like an hour and a half?
I don't know if it was that long, my darling.
But it was at least an hour.
Because we had at least been to this place before, so we kind of tried to snake around to some other less known. To be honest, I think we got out on pretty decent time. I mean, we could have really been there for a very long time waiting in line.
It still sucked. Anyway, so we got out, and
by the way, I don't think Trump actually even came by in his car.
No. We were told the motorcade was going to be passing our location, and they went a different route. I guess to confuse everybody and keep possible
assassins to really annoy us.
I guess because we were kind of hoping, oh wow, the motorcade, the official motorcade, the Trump motorcade. Yeah, we get to see it.
Well, if you're going to stop us, look, guys, it's already late. If you're going to stop us from walking simply across the street, and even honestly driving the opposite direction, then we better see Trump's motor car. If that is the reason why you're saying we can't cross the street, and well, no.
Anyway,
no offense against them. They were doing their job. We want Trump safe, great and all, but also just on a slight little small side, as someone else pointed out in the crowd, shouldn't he have had his own private exit? Like
you would think.
I mean, the man has so much money. How come helicopter? Come on.
Why doesn't he have a jetpack already? Anyway, okay, come on. You know that would be awesome to see Trump just zoom off on a jetpack. Did you bring up the thing this guy? No, I didn't do that. Okay, I'll bring that up real quick.
That just
there was
reminded me of something Andrew's going to bring up.
there was a helicopter that was flying overhead, and they had a one electronic billboard under its belly that would flash Trump make America great, Trump make America great, and then it just flew over the crowd
For a long time. That must have been expensive.
Yeah, it probably was.
That was really cool. I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah. So then the motorcade passed. We were allowed to get our car. It took us an hour to get out and finally get on our way back home. We were kind of hungry by that time because it was like 10, 11 o'clock, and we were just, we got to get something to eat.
Well, and we also needed to keep awake for the 2-hour drive.
Yeah, that
and
too.
Honestly, food and drink helps.
That too. So people being stupid in drive-thrus and just, sitting there at the talk box and not moving. It's like, okay, if you were behind a person, you should have picked what you want by the time you get. Oh, that annoys me so much. I ended up just going to a gas station, just getting some snacks. Drove home. We got back about 1 o'clock in the morning, and by the time we finished, getting in, brushing our teeth, and
it was easily 1:30.
It was easily 1:30, and took me a little bit to wind down because I was driving, and I got like 4 hours of sleep. Had to get up, go to work. I somehow made it without any caffeine or 5-hour energy or anything like that. I don't know how. That that was yesterday, and then I came home and it's like, as much as I want to do this video and talk about how great an experience this was and get this out, I am so tired right now. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. So got some more sleep, and now I'm doing this video. So lessons learned: definitely park closer to the exit and walk down, and actually walk to the gates instead of parking up close. And I would also say that if you ever get a chance to go to a Trump rally at least once, I won't do this again, even if it comes into our town. I'm not.
As much fun and interesting it was.
Yeah, as much fun and interesting as it was, I won't be doing it again. So I would say that if you have a chance to do it, do it. It's amazing just to see how many similar people there are, how many blue blood Americans there are. I mean, we do feel kind of marginalized because the media is trying to make us feel like we're the only ones, in existence, and they're trying to do this so they can dissuade us from voting. Which, don't listen to them, don't listen to the media and what they're saying. Go out and vote November 8th. But that's our experience. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I would say that you guys definitely should go. Once in a lifetime experience, but also this is a part of history. Whether or not you really realize it, this election is going to be a huge part of our history, and the fact that you were able to go to a Trump rally would be something great to tell the kids or grandkids, or if you have kids now. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, if you do go, I do highly suggest, because for the most part, some of these places are like where we went. Make sure you bring plastic water bottles. Don't bring an umbrella. Not allowed an umbrella, which was weird.
Yeah. If you get one of those like old lady walkers
because that's what we had to bring in for me.
Yeah, they'll allow those in, but they won't allow chairs in.
But the type of walker that I have, I can actually sit on, so that was actually a way we could sneak around the the rules there to have the seat. Yeah, bring plenty of water. There were a couple of vendors there for food, which I did not expect, and they didn't say anything about it, which was weird. They should have let the people know, because we brought our own food thinking, well, they're not saying anything. I would still
recommend bringing your own food,
but
because the lines were atrocious.
They were. But yeah, bring your own plastic water bottle, not loud, metal or glass. So bring your own plastic water bottle, and trust me, you're going to be drinking a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, thankfully there were water fountains there, so you could refill the water bottle when it was done. Make
sure you're prepared for the weather, as far as the either sun or cold. Bring a blanket. Bring something to do, a book or cards or something, or just start striking up conversation with everyone. That's really what was probably one of the best parts of the experience, because it was like talking to good buddies, because these are people that are on the Trump train, and they're just as
The
passionate
crowd
and
was very
supportive,
friendly. Yes.
just as proud of Trump, just as supportive of him and everything. So, I think so. So yeah, just be prepared for the type of event it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully this helps you out, and if you decide to go to a Trump rally. And remember, folks, we have 26 days left. The media is going to throw everything they can at us
It's
and
going
at
to keep
Trump.
getting worse, too.
It is going to keep getting worse.
It's going to keep getting harder. The comments are going to keep getting more brutal.
Yep. However, if what I saw at this Trump rally is any indication, I believe that that the media and the Hillary campaign are scared, and that's why they're on the attack so much, trying to dissuade us from supporting and voting for Trump on November 8th, because this wasn't just a rally. This was legitimately a movement, and Trump is right when he says that this is a movement. And the amount of people that we saw there, the amount of people that were probably turned away, it's truly amazing. So do not be discouraged. Do not let the media or the Hillary campaign or anybody else tell you that Trump does not have a chance, that his poll numbers are down, that he's losing support among women. That, look, they're trying to discourage you. They're trying to discourage us, enough of us, to not go November 8th to vote. Stay hopeful. Stay encouraged.
Keep praying.
Keep praying.
The rosary, if you are Catholic.
Well, even if you're not Catholic, the rosary, because it is the second most powerful prayer there is. But pray and keep your hopes up, folks. We will win this if we stick together and if we all turn out and bring, what was it Trump said, bring 10 of your friends or whatever to it.
Yeah.
Bring 10 friends, all right? Come vote. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you, folks. This is Athanasius signing off. Find me on Facebook. Find me at my website, athanasiusreport.com. Twitter at athanasiusrep. And I will talk to you guys next time. Take care. God bless. Christ's peace upon you all. There's no way to take a picture. This is Trump rally in Panama City. This is the inside right now. And me and my wife, we have been inside for at least an hour and a half now. And people are still filing in. Gift shop right over there. And then as you look at the line here, you can still see that it is packed. Let me get a better view. You can see it is still packed. It goes to the Trump bus there, or RV, and to the left, and just keeps going down that way. And you just, don't let anybody ever tell you that there's no enthusiasm in the Trump campaign, or that his campaign is down. And don't let anyone ever tell you that the polls show that he's down by 11, 12 points. I highly suspect that, because when you see look at this crowd. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go walk back to try to get back up to my wife here, and you can see. The lines going over the food vendors right over there. Musical variety. Yes, somebody will try to say that, oh, this is all a bunch of angry white people. These
The truth is no. Not just angry white people. I've seen blacks, I've seen Hispanics, I've seen Asians. There's obviously a lot of women here, there's children. And aside from the injustices being brought upon this country by the Democrats, these people are not really angry. They're good-natured. They're good folk. They're Americans. So yeah, we have 27 days, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like Trump still has the enthusiasm that he had when he first started out. This is not just a rally, this is a movement. Anyway, I'm going to need to sign off for now because I'm right up near the front, so I will see you guys on the next Athanasius Report.